Tip number one, only ever wear closed-toed, laced shoes. So only ever wear closed-toed, laced shoes. You can see my mouth can't wrap my way around it, right? Because no matter what shit hits the fan, if you got closed toes and laces on your feet, you're safe. I have seen way too many bad guys neutralized because they're fighting in flip-flops or sandals or some other shit. And as soon as like asphalt breaks and grass breaks and cement is falling down, your feet are fucked. Your fighting days are over. We'll always wear closed-toed shoes with laces. Number two, carry small denominations of US dollars. Because when the economy goes to shit, a $5 bill is going to be worth much more than $5. So if you only have 20s, 10s, and $100 bills, then you're going to be overpaying for everything because no one's going to give you change. So you need to carry small amounts of currency because as soon as the banks shut down, every piece of currency massively increases in value. So I always encourage people to carry $200 in cash, US dollars in cash.
Not Canadian dollars.
You carry those in small denominations.
What about Canadian dollars or Turkish lira?
I would do the same thing with all of it, man. Keep everything
Okay.
in small amounts. Because here's the thing. If you're in Turkey and you're trying to get out of Turkey, guess what the most important currency is going to be?
So do you think USD would still be universally recognized as superior to those in those situations? You would take lira over USD in some cases?
As long as US dollars are the dominant economic force,
Yeah.
you want to use those.
Okay.
We don't stand the risk of losing US dollar dominance until we start reaching parity with some other economic power. So 2027, 2029, 2031, that's when you have to really keep an eye on what currency is going to be. But currency valuations change much slower than we think, right? Because there's momentum behind them. So get your hands on US dollars, have them in small denominations. That's tip number two. Tip number three, the only self-defense weapon you need to be a master with is some kind of baton or some kind of physical bat or some stick that you carry with you. Because it never runs out of ammunition. It never runs out of batteries. You carry it with you everywhere you go. And you will always have an advantage over a foe who is untrained in their weapon if you are very comfortable and familiar with your weapon. So if someone attacks you with a knife or a gun and you have a collapsible baton, it becomes a matter of who's more capable with their weapon. Because one strike to the wrist with your baton, and now you have a knife or a gun. And that's one of the core things that we're taught at the agency is proficiency with simple weapons rather than proficiency with complex weapons. Because a complex weapon also has more complex ways that it can fail.